Dave, this is Jonathan Ribble. The Dancing a Little Sidestep is the title of this message. We have, I tell you, the politicians. I remember the old movie, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and it was simply hilarious because there was a politician that came on there, and they had asked him a question about this whorehouse in Texas, and he says, "Ooh, I like to dance a little sidestep. Now you see me, now you don't. I've come and go." I was watching Nancy Pelosi this morning as she was giving her um, uh, oracles of life or whatever you want to call it. But I was watching her, and she ended, and they still had the open mics open, and the reporters were asking. Even the reporters are putting on a show. You know, the reporters that work for CNN or NBC, I don't even think they buy the stuff they're selling. You know, the they're they're like they're told what to say because these reporters were were talking amongst themselves after her speech or after her little press conference, if you will. And one reporter says, "Did she even answer my question?" She sidestepped the whole questions just about talking about stuff that was absolute utter nonsense. You know, as I said, this is going to be about the positive switch, looking at news from a positive angle, just reporting the news as we get it and as we hear it. But there are so many people out there that are selling stuff they don't even buy themselves. You know, these reporters don't even they, they don't even like these politicians. You know, but when they get on screen, they're like, you'd think that everybody's having going going insane. I want to say something, but I don't. I don't want you to take it the wrong way. My article this morning was about the words we use, impeachment. If you can impeach a president for what he said, and you can do it in 7 hours, why can't you get the COVID bill done and passed within 7 hours? Why does it take you 9 months to do something like that? You can impeach a president within 7 hours. Um, you can floor, you can bring articles, you can vote on it. Nobody has to give any testimony, nobody has to disagree, nobody has to do anything, and you can do it within 7 hours. it's it's crazy. Um, the guy is done. But see, the trouble is, if we don't keep bringing him up, nobody will watch us because we're as boring as all get out. I mean, to listen to these people, it's just like, good God Almighty, how have we voted for you for years? When are we going to wake up as an American people? I'm not talking about Democrats and Republicans here. I'm talking about Americans. If you have the right to vote, when are we going to wake up? I mean, what is the litmus test to be a politician today? I mean, what asinine idiots we've got up there. I mean, it's true. It, it doesn't take any particular brains or effort today, evidently, to be a politician. And here's the thing: this is why so many people are frustrated because you sit there. Here's what the politicians of yesteryear looked like. This is what the presidential campaign, the gubernatorial campaigns, this is what they look like. Hi, my name is Jonathan Ribble. I'm running for office today, and I'll let you know what I've done in the last 4 years. We brought up the GDP about 2.2%, and then we brought down the unemployment rate about 1%, and we did this and we did that. And they go through the record, and the average person doesn't even know what they're talking about. The average person doesn't even know what GDP stands for. The average person doesn't know, they have no clue what you're talking about. So you use all these code names and code things so nobody knows. So you dance a little sidestep around the issue. Politicians are, I've heard it put this way, that comes from the word poly, meaning many. The ticks is a blood sucking insect. So we got many blood sucking insects up there. Now, I'm not condoning any violence on them, but I understand. I understand why there was. I understand, you don't listen to the vote. In fact, the vote don't even freaking matter this year. You'll just get more votes. You'll just print out more of them. It doesn't. It's like the federal government. If they don't have any money, they're going to print out some. They just go to the Federal Reserve and say, "Let's print out some more money. Let's just print out some more. We don't have any. We don't have enough. Let's print out some more." The votes, they did it the same way. We don't have enough. Let's print out some more. Let's try to get these. There's so much voter fraud today. There is so much voter fraud. It's a litany of things. And then if you go down through the COVID-19 relief bill, has nothing to do with COVID-19. In fact, if you take a look at the $600 they were giving each American, and you take that times 300 million, guys, 300 million, you get somewhere around $2 billion. There is close to $1 trillion in this COVID relief bill. Now, Biden wants to produce another one. Oh, Trump can't have his. I'm going to have mine. So he's going to produce one that's 1.8 trillion. I'm like, where is this money coming from? Where are we getting this money? So that's what ruffles my feathers. There's no clear answers on what these politicians have to hold. There's no clear direction for them, and we don't hold them accountable. And so when this happened the other day, 10 days ago or whatever it was, with the Capitol breach, it wasn't really breached. They keep using the words that attract ratings. Even Newsmax is doing this. They're using all these words that attract ratings. If I just came on to you and said 200 people got access to the Capitol, and a few of them broke a few things and stole a couple laptops, it's probably not going to get the ratings as if I told you there was an insurrection. I don't know. But insurrection to me is kind of what we did when we left Britain. We talk about, oh, I can't believe there was violence. There was violence at one point. Violence created our country. Violence created our country. And I don't care what anybody says, it created our country. And we did some nasty stuff in the name of freedom. We did some nasty stuff. So when everybody's getting up in arms about all this stuff that happened at the Capitol, and now they got 21,000 U.S. troops on the ground in Washington, D.C., I honestly think it's because they know a lot of people don't like that guy. So it's 21,000, though. Come on. You'd have to be a blazing lunatic idiot now if you're going to go try to do anything at the Capitol. Crazy. You're absolutely crazy. But why wasn't this done before? Why wasn't it done before? You knew that there was anger on both sides. You knew that there was crazies on both sides. There is crazy lunatics on both sides of the aisle. There's people that are angry on both sides of the aisle. Why wasn't this done before? And going back to the timeline that Trump had, he started his speech at 12 o'clock. He ended his speech at 1:10. The people that were first there to breach the Capitol were at 12:53. If you're an ardent Trump supporter, you're going to listen to everything that guy says. Otherwise, the people that were there at 12:53, Trump could not incite them. There was nothing in his speech to say. He didn't say go down and burn it down. We're going to go down to the Capitol. We're going to march right in there. And he did say we're going to march down to the Capitol. He did say we're going to peacefully protest, but he didn't say we're going to just run right in there. No, he didn't do that. He didn't. And so these people that are talking about insurrection, an insurrection would have been if all 100,000. Can you imagine that? Because some of the views that I saw were from the steps looking out, and there was an ocean of people as far as the eye could see down the streets. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible. So don't sit there and tell me that there was an insurrection. An insurrection would have been if all of those people had guns and bats and baseball bats. An insurrection. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if all 100,000 people were there right now? Can you imagine what would take place? And now we have the U.S. troops, because the cops are too disorganized to do their job. Now we have the U.S. troops there. Now we have troops going against U.S. citizens versus letting my voice be heard. Why won't you let my voice be heard? Why won't you let us look at these votes? Why won't you hear the evidence? The Supreme Court turned it down and all that. Why won't you hear the evidence? If you just hear the evidence and listen to your followers, what a world we'd have if people would listen to each other. And then these bans that Twitter has done and Facebook and Parler and all YouTube, and I hope they heard me. I don't have very many followers right now, but I'm so sick to death of all of this nonsense on both sides of the aisle. And if you're going to be a Republican, my gosh, pull up your pants and be one. If you're going to stand for what you believe in, be one. And if you're going to support a president yesterday, support him today. This Kelly Loeffler who flip-flopped, good thing she didn't get elected again. I'm so sick of people that just flip-flop because you go through some struggles. Stop flip-flopping back and forth. So anyway, I hope you liked the show today. Again, my name is Jonathan Ribble, but I'm just trying to come at you live and say, watch what you say, evidently, because it'll get you banned off of these platforms. That's a problem. Freedom of speech. They can take that amendment away. They can take the second one away. They can take your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. They can just burn the rest of the Constitution because nobody knows what it says anyway. So that's the news for today. But keep your heads held high. Keep smiling. It's a small curve that sets a lot of things straight. And don't worry about a thing. It is what it is. And I think they'd be raving lunatics. And if you attack the Capitol this week, you deserve everything you got coming to you. So if you're stupid enough to go out there and light a fire, you're stupid enough to get burned. That's my opinion on both sides of the aisle. So let this impeachment drop, though. This is nuts. The only reason you're doing it is you're scared to death of the man. And I think it's wonderful. A president gets impeached twice. But that doesn't mean he can run again. A lot of people are saying he can't run again. No, he can run again. They're creating him to be a martyr, and he's going to come back bigger than ever. They tried to do it to Jesus. They killed him too. 3 days later, he rose again. Well, I got a feeling Trump's coming back. He's going to be bigger than ever. Anyway, take care, guys. God bless. See you later.